Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is the microphone on? Can you hear me? Can you see? John, Mr. John, sitting there in his natural environment, waiting to give you a show.
Putin!
Well. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Ben.
Hey, DW says the soundboard is fine and that they could hear us, so the sound checks went very, very well before the show, it would seem.
Jolly good.
Jolly good indeed. How are you this afternoon, this fine, brisk, late autumn afternoon at the end of November, John?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How brisk is it? How brisk is it out there?
It's getting pretty chilly, I'm not going to lie.
I think it's that chilly. 5 degrees?
Yeah, it's around about that here as well. I've got a jumper on under my jacket. That's where we are. Jumper and a jacket. It's getting chilly. Well, I can't afford the heating in here. It's convector heater. I put it on sparingly, shall we say.
Indeed.
Because my electricity and gas is now £350 a freaking month. Yay!
Yeah, it's just crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Something needs to be done about this.
It does.
This can't be the status quo.
£353.
Just can't be.
No, you're absolutely right. Beach Crate says Ben needs to start doing voiceovers on TV shows. Better than Attenborough. I'll take that.
Yeah, come on, Attenborough's shit. He always has been.
Look at the noble Robin sitting there on his branch. That's basically Attenborough.
He's been even worse since he got affected.
By the woke mind virus.
No, by the...
That's the woke mind virus.
No, it wasn't the woke mind virus.
But he is infected with the woke mind virus, John.
Yeah, he's a screwball. Well, he thinks climate change is happening badly.
So, looking at our thumbnail and looking at what happened in the last 24 hours, what's going on over in America then with Kanye West, or Ye West as he likes to be called now?
Yeah, off then.
Yeah.
Well, he just walked out, didn't he? But you know what? He does that all the time. He's a walkouter.
But he took a private jet, flew over to do Timcast IRL with Tim Pool, live on YouTube last night, and I think on Rumble and other platforms as well.
Yeah.
He was pushed back against the tiniest bit when he started going down the anti-Semitism road-ish, and he started to allude to that. And the second he, I'll sort that in a minute. The second he, I've lost my train of thought. The second he was pushed back against even the tiniest bit. This man's running for president, by the way, yeah? He just gets up and walks off.
Yeah.
Steals the cookies on the way out.
If he's running for president, he'd be a fantastic successor to Biden because the guy's lost it. He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
Yeah.
His head's all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, you see him, he's struggling to find his words. I mean, sometimes I struggle to find my words, but bloody hell. He's like, I've got 7 things going on in my head at the same time. I can't think what I was talking about.
I'm a genius.
No, he's far, far from a genius.
Kanye wants the world to know how much of a genius he actually is. But you know.
But he equates everything to making a hip hop video.
Yeah.
How genius is that? I mean, everything you talk, it's like, you know, everything you point out or talk to him about, He turns it around to making a hip hop video, as if that is the raison d'etre for the human race.
See, what I
making
don't get.
hip hop videos.
What I don't get is he calls himself a genius, right? And he knows that there are certain things that he cannot say publicly because it will wipe out his net worth. Yeah? Because people like Adidas will walk away from him and his Yeezy 2 brand's gone. All of the other brand deals he's got, they go away. He lost I believe over $1 billion in net worth in one day. In one day. And I don't...
He's not a genius.
But I don't feel like that's a genius thing to do. I really don't.
He's just a tit.
I mean, you don't even really know who he is.
I mean, who would, right? Who would know who he is if you didn't listen to hip hop and you didn't follow the Kardashians?
Well,
who would know who he is?
Well, that's a very, very, very good question. Beats Crate says hip hop is here to save the earth. That's facts.
I have never watched the Kardashians, and I'm not a. Well, actually, I do quite like the hip hop genre on YouTube Music.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like hip hop. I'm just saying that a lot of the music that we pick for the show seems to come from the hip hop genre on YouTube, which I find strange because it doesn't sound like hip hop to me. It sounds more like rave music. Some of it.
Well, I was going to say the pop punk Christmas intro didn't come from the hip hop section, did it, John?
No, that one. Well, no, that one didn't.
But anyway, let's talk because I think Tim Pool did this on purpose, right? I think he knew this was going to happen because Tim Pool's been losing viewers and followers, and he's actually been in a controversy of his own this past week, where his ex-showmate and partner Adam Krigler, who started Timcast IRL with him, made some spurious allegations about Tim and his relationship with his former producer Lydia, who was married at the time, and an argument that occurred, and Tim allegedly choosing the woman he was sleeping with outside of her marriage over Adam. And then all of a sudden, Tim's done something that he knew would be sensational, would get rave. I mean, look at who this guy, Kanye West, has got with him. He's got Nick Fuentes with him, who is a no-no, right? You don't have Nick Fuentes on because he's so horribly tainted that But
there's there's only one loser in this whole setup, okay? And that one loser is you, the viewer.
Yes.
Right? Because everybody else has got a big win out of this. Kanye gets his PR bit, right?
Without having any accountability at all.
Without having to say anything, basically. Fuentes gets his point across without having to say anything, right?
Milo's just there and relevant again.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Milo, remember me?
And Pool gets a viral vid that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
So everybody's a winner, apart from you, the viewer.
Even we're winners, right?
In fact, Kanye even walked away with some of the cookies, didn't he?
Stole Luke Rukowski's cookies. Yes, he did. His Nutter Butter cookies. I mean, I couldn't have eaten the Nutter Butter cookies. I would have had a reaction, but, good on him. Apparently, he walked into the Timcast house. I read this. He walked into the Timcast house, went straight over to the freezer. This is Kanye, and just took a popsicle out. Just started, hey guys, how you doing? Just made himself at home.
Where is Tim's house?
In the middle of nowhere.
In America?
Yes.
All right, okay.
And they're building a new compound right now. They're spending, I believe, well over $1 million and change over in a new compound in a more secretive location because Tim keeps getting swatted. While he's doing IRL, the police will show up and swat them, and then they'll have to pull the show down, but they don't. They just leave the show running, and you'll see the police sort of searching around and stuff like that. He is being. So Beach Crate says Tim Pool wants you to listen to what he thinks. Tim Pool is not a good interviewer. Well, I don't think that IRL really is an interview, is it? I've watched a few episodes of it, and it's kind of like the long form conversations that we have, but not as fun.
Yeah, and Tim Pool's really, and I mean, if you like Tim Pool, that's fair enough, but I find him super annoying to listen to.
Well, he's just so on the fence, right?
No, it's not that. It's his speech pattern, his speed, the way he talks. I just find him super annoying. He really annoys me. It's not someone I would choose to listen to. I find his voice grating. I find his delivery annoying. I find his speed of delivery particularly annoying because it's as if he's trying to do the YouTube thing so he doesn't have to edit it while he's doing it live, But I mean, it's...
and you know he employs well over 20 people in order to do this stuff for him. All he's really got to do is sit in front of the camera and read the research he's been given. Yeah,
but he's shit at it.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I don't like him.
Well, fair enough.
I mean, hey, he maybe doesn't like me.
Yeah, and Tim Paul.
Do I look worried?
Tim Paul, if you ever hear what John has had to say and you would like to explain yourself, then feel free to come on and have a conversation.
Or have us over.
We'll come over, fly us out, obviously.
Send a private jet.
Send a jet. We'll come talk to you. We'd have a laugh. I'll play your instruments. I'll show you up. Have you seen his music? He's been releasing songs, Tim Paul has.
I don't know anything about Tim Paul either.
Oh, he's been releasing songs now.
He's annoying. I find him annoying. He's not someone I'm going to sit and listen to or watch because I find him annoying. I mean, Crowder's okay. I can take him. I prefer Dave, right?
You love Dave Landau, don't you?
Yeah, I do like Dave. I think Dave's got it, but Tim Pool, no. Not my cup of tea. Joe Rogan, he's okay, but he's non-controversial really as well. He's just a listener.
Well, I could have a conversation with Tim quite happily, I think, but that's your opinion, obviously.
That's okay, yeah, you probably could, because you're good at talking over people all the time.
Yeah, as are you.
You just do it all the time, yeah.
John?
Ben.
Introduce.
Welcome, everyone, to this, episode 167 of Chasing Dissent Live, with me, John, and frequently talked over by Ben.
Sorry about that. John is just doing some admin work for us quickly. Thank you very much, John, for doing that. We appreciate it. I'll tell him. It turns out we were live on both channels, so we were also live on the film and gaming channel as well. And that's my fault. Beats Crates says, "I love the new Christmas video intro." That's all down to John. John, bask in the praise.
Basking as we speak.
Bask
I am
away.
Basking.
What about John's new logo that he's designed for us that will hopefully be going on some John? What starts with Merch.
Merch.
Yeah?
Merch. Merchandise. Merch to those in the know.
Belladonna says you missed out gaming on your logo. No, because that's not a Chasing Dissent thing. That's a 100 Acre Swamp thing. They're completely separate entities.
We don't game here.
We don't.
We're not playing games here, Belladonna. We are not playing games.
This is the very, very serious, not so serious deep dive into the news. And as we dive deeply into said news, John, take us on our journey for today.
Well, let's start with something that keeps coming up on Twitter that I find quite offensive.
The defense of Ukraine.
Yes, because they continually promote violence. I mean, look at that tweet. If that's not promoting violence, what isn't? What is? I mean,
I'm absolutely with you here. Valuable gifts prepared for the occupiers. The first Ukrainian-made 152mm projectiles will reach the recipients in a few days. That's basically saying we're going to murder people.
Yeah, basically that's what they're saying, and these are weapons of war.
Yeah.
So if that's not promoting violence, what is? And why is it on Twitter, Elon?
Yeah, no, I have very, very serious concerns about this sort of thing as well. And, I would say exactly the same if the Russians were doing it. I would say exactly the same if anybody was doing it. We should not be promoting violence. And I mean, surely that is a breach of US law.
Well, it's certainly a breach of Twitter's terms and conditions.
Yeah, I would say so. Natasha says that's state-sponsored violence.
Yes, it is state-sponsored violence, but it's still promoting violence, and that's a breach of Twitter's terms and conditions.
No, I agree.
Therefore, why is it still there?
Honestly,
and the thing is, you put something up that says why are you promoting violence, and boy, you should you should see the replies you get.
The bots, as we'll call them.
All the they're either bots or they're mad for Ukraine. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely mental.
So Beach Crate says Wales are going to beat England tonight. Sorry, not sorry, Ben Lowell. I'm not watching it. I don't care.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I think he's talking about the World Cup. But
What's that?
I honestly don't care. I'm not watching it. I'm having nothing to do with it. It's not being broadcast in my house. Fuck the people who, are promoting this shite.
So we go from one mentally ill group to another.
Yes, right? This is ridiculous.
What is Canada doing?
I don't know.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Is the answer. Canada are. I mean, look at this.
How can you do that?
I mean, we need to dive down deeper into it, obviously, but on the surface of it, they are allowing people with mental illness who probably don't have capacity, I might add, to end their own lives or to assist it. They're basically ending their lives for them and calling it assisted suicide, right?
It's basically we're basically going down this Futurama.
Yeah, the suicide booth
of the suicide booths, aren't we?
Yeah, Bender going in there to get his buzz.
I'm really disappointed in Canada. I really liked Canada. Canada was a kind of America where you were still allowed to take responsibility for your own actions.
Yes.
Canada was kind of the outdoor cousin of America. You would go to Canada. People still had loads of guns, but they didn't kill each other all the time. You could still go hunting and things like that. You could go camping. If you wanted to ski off piste, nobody was going to say, no, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. What they said was, if you ski off piste and you die, that's your own fault.
Yes.
And you won't be getting any compensations from us. And,
people never used to lock their doors in Canada. It was super safe.
I know, but, and that's fine, because if you try skiing off piste in America, what happens is the snow patrol come and go, yeah, off piste, fined, right? And it's like, well, I mean, it's like one extreme to the other. So Canada was the outdoor cousin who was slightly behind everybody else, but they were a good laugh. Now, what the fuck? I mean, it's like, you just can't compute what is going on to Canada.
Because my question is, where's the line? What do they deem to be mental illness? Because, and this is a very, very good point I'm going to make, I think, anyway. Canada are also going to deem people who haven't had certain treatments mentally ill and medicate them. So where's the line? Where does this stop? What is this about? It is concerning. It is extremely... I'm not going to infer anything from that. I'm going to let you infer whatever you want from that. But it bothers me. It worries me. We should be helping people with mental illness. And I don't believe that ending their life is helping them. Personally, I think we should be trying to give them something to live for, something to do, something to strive towards. This is ridiculous. It almost feels like Canada want to just wash their hands, or at least Trudeau's liberal, and I say that in extremely inverted commas, government just want to wash their hands with everybody because they can't be bothered. So they're just like, okay, let's kill them off. Let's kill them off, or let them kill themselves off at least, because then that's no bother on us. That's no bother on the state, and it's one less person we have to worry about. That's what it feels like. I could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion.
No, as I said, Canada's just lost, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's lost, and it's lost it.
Speaking of someone else that's a bit lost, this poor lass, Brittany. What's going on in our head?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, her Instagram, she's posting pictures of herself basically naked in the bathtub with her norks out again.
Yeah.
And it's like, Brittany, what are you doing, pet? What are you doing? You get a grip. You're 40 years old. I
tell you what she's doing.
You still look good. You look good. And maybe you're just trying to get some attention, but you know what? Chill out a wee bit.
She's seeing Madonna do it, and she's like, I want me some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's all it is. And remember also, this woman has not really been free to do what she wants for God knows how long.
I know.
And so I don't think she's lost her marbles again, Adam, more than she's exploring her freedom and her desire to do whatever she wants when she wants. And it's probably all a bit overwhelming as well. I would wonder whether or not someone should step in, but once again, I'll leave that up to you. It's not for me to decide. And it's unfortunate to see people who, I mean, she had such a promising career. She started really well, and then she was just abused, wasn't she? She really was abused by her own family and by her own father.
Yeah, another kind of father took control.
Yeah. Vicky Clifford said eugenics never went away. Well, it almost feels like eugenics. We're going back to Canada. This is right. Yeah. It almost feels like eugenics just in disguise, right? Trojan horse. You know, mentally ill, can't be dealing with those. Let's get rid of them. It's ridiculous. Let's move on to a tweet from Roger Pilka. Roger Pilka Jr. I want to say I've said that right. The 2022 seasonal hurricane forecast bust. What lessons can we take?
Well, we can take the lessons that computer models just don't work, do they? Because every computer model that they fling at us just doesn't give us anything. So out of 19 computer models that said 2022 was going to be a record year for named hurricanes, right? Where are they? Poof. Where are all the hurricanes? I mean, do we have 2 or something, right?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you were along the right lines when you said computer models are, not useful. You didn't go far enough. Computer models are not evidence. They're not facts. They're not data. They never have been, and they're just absolute fucking shite.
Actually, I would go further.
I
would say computer models are harmful.
And harmful propaganda.
Yeah, they're harmful to the way that people then use them to make policy.
Yes.
And propagandize the people in order to have them put into a state of fear and alarm.
And locked in their homes.
That then allows them to be easily controlled.
I mean, we haven't seen anything like that, not related to weather, in the last 2.5 years, have we, John?
No,
Models
nothing.
that were completely wrong. Never seen anything like that, have we?
Nothing. We might even see more of it later on.
Didn't destroy the economy because of bad models, did we, John?
No, not at all.
No, we didn't. Just, it was all Putin. It wasn't the bad models. It was Putin.
Putin!
That's who it was. It was Putin. It wasn't the bad models. It wasn't. Let's move. Let's go to. Do we have to see a fucking? Go on, him.
What one are you on?
Hillary Jones.
Yeah, speaking of the mentally ill, they're still pushing this narrative. So I visited the nation's leading Santa school.
Yep.
To encourage their Santas in training to get ready for Christmas.
This winter, it's essential.
This winter, it's essential you get vaccinated against both flu and COVID to protect yourself and others. Check if you're eligible. He's making statements there that the data doesn't support, though.
Of course he does. Once again, protecting yourself, possibly, right? Make your own decision about whatever your own body you want to do or don't want to put in your own body. You want to put flu vaccine in yourself, go ahead. You want to put a COVID vaccine in yourself, go ahead. And same token on the other breath. If you don't want to do either, go right ahead. It's your body, it's your choice, and you should be able to make that choice without any kind of discrimination or any kind of pressure. You should just simply make your decision based upon evidence of efficacy, safety from multiple sources. Don't just look at one and go, yeah, that person's saying this is good or this is bad. Look at both sides, or 3 or 4 different sides. Weigh everything up, then go and make your own decision. And don't even tell us. We don't want to know. We don't care what you do with your own body. And people like Hillary Jones are just disgusting. They are just disgusting. They went on TV and he repeatedly lied to the nation about the efficacy of certain things. Not the treats, but other things. 1 minute he's going, it's like driving a bus through a tunnel, and then the next he's going, oh no, yeah, you got to do that. Statements don't add up, do they, Hillary? Right? This man has shared so many incorrect models, going back to the modelling, and treated them as facts, and then gone on TV and told people to change their behaviour based upon that incorrect modelling. And now he's going to turn up at places. I mean, look, he's sitting next to Santa with his paper on his face. There he is, with his... Why? He knows!
But then he's in another shot with multiple Santas with no coverings.
Exactly, and those Santas are closer to him than the one he's sitting near. Come on, Hillary, stop this propaganda bollocks. And ITV and other channels, why are you platforming this bloody idiot? And I'll sue me, Hillary. You've been wrong repeatedly.
Because they've been told to?
By who?
They're getting paid for it? Well, they're pursuing the narrative, so somebody's got to be directing them, surely. Are they making this all up on their own? They think this is a good story?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, I might sound like a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist there, but when every news channel does exactly the same thing,
yep,
then you've got to think, surely just one would say something different. But no, when everyone says exactly the same thing,
do you notice, baby?
And pursues exactly the same narrative, then it's got to be coming from somewhere else. It's got to be.
You're absolutely right. And
speaking about coming from somewhere else,
from this tweet from Andy No, Sam Brinton, a Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Department of Energy, I'm guessing this is in the United States.
Oh, I've seen this guy a lot.
Who is praised for being a non-binary identifying transvestite, has been charged with felony theft for allegedly stealing a woman's bag at Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport.
So there's a little bit more to it than just a bag, okay?
Okay.
But, I mean, I've seen this person more than I've seen Kanye.
I've never seen this person.
Have you not?
No.
Oh my God, they pop up all the time. Do you know that the other famous tranny, Rachel?
Yeah, Levine. Yeah. I know who that is.
Yeah, well, they've been pictured together quite a lot. So this person who's in Biden's administration, effectively, stole $2,300 worth of luggage from the other person.
Was it a mistake or was it intentional?
It wasn't a mistake.
Okay. So apparently the Department of Energy is not paying. Gotta steal me some luggage.
$2,300 worth of luggage.
I mean, my question is this: one of the people who went to pick up one of the I'm a Celebrities, stars. They were showing the family members going through the airport or friends. And one of them had suitcases that were worth 12 grand each. Who the fuck is paying 12 grand for a suitcase?
Idiots.
Well, exactly. And
people with more money than sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, I look for the cheapest bloody suitcase I can find.
Well, you don't necessarily need to buy the cheapest, but you certainly don't need to pay 12 grand to get a fairly substantial.
If I don't buy the cheapest, I'm not getting a suitcase. I have no money, John. So, just quickly going to the chat, Natasha says that Sam Brinton here is possibly a kleptomaniac with the obsession to steal things. Essentially, it's apparently a mental health condition.
Stole someone else's gender.
I like it. Beats Crate says Ben is like me. I'll take it. That's So let's move on to Tony. What's Tony got for us here?
Well, he's talking about Sunny Glasgow, which is as you know, ruled by the SNP. Well, kind of ruled by the SNP and the Greens. And then they've done it again. They've let this guy off with it, who preys on sleeping women. He's a rapist who preys on sleeping women, and he's avoided deportation back to Afghanistan. And even though he had been stripped of his refugee status.
So
he's now back in the community.
Well, is he back in the community or is he in prison?
No, I think he's back in the community.
But either way,
he's when he comes out, he's back in the community.
Yeah, which is
because he's not going back to Afghanistan,
which is
wrong. He should be.
But what he's essentially managed to do is reclaim asylum because he says the Taliban will kill me because of my sex offender status. That's
maybe you should have thought of that before you started sex offending.
Well, there is that. There is absolutely that.
At this point, I'd be going, not our problem, mate.
Do your time and then get out.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
This happened yesterday whilst we were streaming, didn't it?
Yes,
the next story. And we were talking about Sweden, and they cancelled residential permits of 300,000 migrants, and they did it where, John?
They did it in Sweden.
They did it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, they did it
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They used YouTube to cancel the residential permits of 300,000 migrants. So that's essentially the biggest step towards deportation, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about them having stopped any migrants for I think about a year now, or certainly from the beginning of the year, because I remember it coming through and not really being reported, but we did report on it, and we were talking about it again, how it never appears in the MSN, and then suddenly boom, this comes out yesterday. So yeah, we were right. We're right on the ball.
And
again,
I'll tell you what. This is something else we were right on. The next story, we're always right, aren't we, John? We do seem to be right a lot. UK doubles coal imports to head off winter energy crisis. We said this would need to happen, didn't we, John?
Well, we did, because if we don't have the gas and we don't have the nuclear power stations that we've shut down,
and we should
have been building, but coal,
baby, precious black, filthy coal. Not as remember when Donald Trump was like, "It's clean coal."
But look at the subheadline. Look at the subheadline.
Imports almost double as Ukraine war turns natural gas into a no-go zone.
And how much natural gas did we get from Russia?
3%, dear.
3%. 3%. But it's all Putin's fault.
Yeah, it is. Everything is Putin's fault. You know, all the slaves that died building the World Cup in Qatar, building those stadiums, yeah? Putin sent them. It was all Putin. Everything was Putin. Everything bad in this world is Putin. As far as our governments are concerned here in the West, he is. Well, he might well be evil. I think all politicians are evil, but he is he's Dr. Evil. $100 billion.
Yes. Whereas I actually think Dr. Evil is Klaus Schwab.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, he is morphing into him, isn't he? Like,
oh bloody! All he needs is, see if he had someone who looked like Adam when he puts on that stupid bald wig, and was shorter. That could have been his mini me.
It really, Adam. Try and get on a video conference with Klaus Schwab for us, please, and make sure you wear your Matt Lucas / Phil Mitchell
Schwab outfit.
outfit.
That would be a joy. I'd pay to watch that.
It would. It would be an absolute doddle. Let's move on to Lex.
Do you know this guy Lex Friedman?
I don't. Please tell me. So enlighten.
He does quite a few podcasts.
Right.
And he's got quite a dry style. In fact, I think he did Kanye. And Kanye walked out of him as well because he thought he'd set him up. Kanye's walked out in quite a few podcasts.
Yeah,
I mean, he walked out in Peel's Moron as well, didn't he? I believe. And he also walked away from the woman he stormed out the kids' football match after he had an argument with one of the parents.
I'm pretty sure Piers Moron got him to come back though, and they did a 2-hour interview.
Yeah, later on, but whatever. But he did storm out of one of Piers Moron's interviews, and I can't blame him from that, because I would storm out of Piers Moron's interviews. But
Piers,
anyway,
if you'd like to come on the show, feel free.
Yeah, if this guy Lex Friedman's he's quite dry and quite, I don't know, quite analytical, but this worries me. And you got to remember, this is back to Elon.
Yeah,
this is his baby. This is one of his projects, and this is the thing that it didn't really hit the news, did it? Because he was killing all the monkeys.
Yeah.
Remember every monkey that had this this applied to them died in excruciating agony. Apparently.
I'm not a fan of this idea of connecting ourselves to technology. I think it's an awful, awful idea.
Have you seen the human sleeves video?
No.
Right, I tell you what. I shall make a short video on the human sleeves because I'm not quite sure where it comes from, but I think it's a spoof, but it's creepily becoming reality.
Yeah.
Because they start with what looks like a human in a bag being an artificial womb, and then the other day, did you see the one with the sheep?
No.
Well, we'll come back to this. We shall revisit this.
Are we revisiting Elon on this list, or should we stay with him for a minute?
You can stay with him if you like. What would you like to talk about?
Well, he's gone to war with Apple, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, or is it Apple that's gone to war with him?
Well, he's fired the first public shots for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Apple are talking about taking Twitter out the App Store
because of the amnesty.
Yeah.
The amnesty that doesn't appear to have begun, but
but what's that got to do with Apple? Really? What does it matter to Apple? I mean, this is the part I can't see how Apple win here, other than being, other than supporting lefty woke ideology. I can't see how they win because 58% of Apple's revenue comes from selling the iPhone.
Yes.
Right? 58%.
Remember, and Elon's actually, quote tweeted this, isn't he? They did the same thing to the game Fortnite, which we play a lot.
Have you seen the advert?
Yes.
I sent it to you earlier.
I sent it to you guys yesterday as well. But
did you? I never.
Fortnite made a bloody trailer saying they were going to defeat the Apple, the Apple god, and it's like 1984, isn't it? You got like a giant apple talking down to him on a giant screen.
So anyway, who's going to win out of this? Because
Elon Musk. Because he'll release a phone, and they've probably already got it designed and ready for manufacture.
Yeah, but who's going to buy that phone?
Well, the thing is, if the phone that Elon makes comes with, top-end features and a permanent link to Starlink, I will buy that phone.
You might buy the phone, right? Other geeks might buy the phone, right? But all your celebrity Apple fanboy users aren't going to buy that phone. They're going to stick with Apple. I'm
not sure, because Apple are being...
Right, okay, well, let's say, Robert Downey Jr.,
yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow, all these people. Oh, whose phone are they going to use?
Probably not Elon Musk's.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, as you are alluding to, the human race are mostly idiots.
Yeah, and all the people that aspire to be them or look like them or be associated with them are going to use what phone?
Imagine aspiring to look like us.
No, I know. People don't aspire to look like us because they know that their aspirations could never be realised.
They could never be attained.
Never be.
Absolutely not. No. And Adam says Pegasus spyware loves Apple phones.
Thanks for that, Apple. Adam.
With a wink face. I'm guessing Apple phones are just as shite as I think they are. I mean, I've got a big problem with the fact that they're using basically slave labour to build them in conditions so harsh that they've had to put a net around the damn building to stop people jumping off and killing themselves.
What, but you think Samsung aren't?
Well, at least Samsung... Well, you know what?
Come on.
I've never heard about the Samsung suicide net, John.
Where's Samsung phones made?
Probably Korea.
No. Try again.
Are they made in China?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not throwing this thing. I love this phone.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. You're married to Samsung.
Yes, I am. I am. But like I say, I don't hear. Have you heard about the Samsung suicide net?
No, but then again, is Samsung as big as Apple? No.
No. But.
Is Samsung as polarizing as Apple?
I will say this. No. Remember, no, Apple...
Samsung just keep their head down and get on with it.
They keep their head down.
They do the little inscrutable Eastern thing of, we work hard, we sell your phone.
Did you know that every single... I actually do think Samsung probably have a bigger cap share than Apple, purely because every Apple phone comes with a Samsung screen built into it. Samsung make all their screens, and have done for a long time.
So
they're providing...
And do you think... Yeah, but do you think Apple pays for that? Do you know that every time Microsoft installs a copy of Windows, it has to pay Apple a fee?
That because of the fact that Steve Jobs partly owned it?
I'm not sure, but there's something around it. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there is. I'll dig it out again. But yeah, every copy of Windows benefits Apple.
Yeah, so Militant Mushroom also says Samsung phones are being made and the iPhone 14s ain't because of the protests and stuff, right? RCW says Twitter is just the first castle seized. I understand that, but the problem is Apple. So if you dig down into it, Apple's political donations were dropped online yesterday in that thread. 97.5% of their political donations go to the Democrat Party. So then you really start to see what's going on here, don't you?
Yeah, well, complete and utter corruption in the US electoral proceedings and their political system, because, let's face it, lobbying shouldn't be allowed.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right.
There's no reason why lobbying should be allowed, because basically it's bribery and corruption.
Speaking of bribery and corruption, let's move on to Dan Andrews by the looks of it. What's going on over here, John?
Well, this is the data for New South Wales.
What, for the coup?
Just for people. No. This is for non-coup.
Right.
People admitted to hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Those that were treated and those that weren't.
Right. Okay.
Those that died and those that didn't.
Why 240?
Oh, sorry. This is for coup.
Right. So is this for people who died with the coup?
Yes, yes, it has. Sorry,
and then separated by whether or not they were treated.
Yes.
And so
that's really all you need to say. There's the stats.
Let me guess. 0 was the people who are not treated.
That was for admission to hospital. Yes.
And 214 is people who are fully treated.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
For deaths, 17 of those fully treated died, and two people not treated died.
It's very interesting.
They were never admitted to hospital; they just died.
That's very interesting and something.
That is interesting. So I just thought I'd point that out. Yeah,
something that you draw your own infers from and your own conclusions and dwell on. And well, like I said, when it comes to things like this, not just this, anything, you need to make your own decisions. It's your body. You make up your own mind. You do what you want, and don't tell us we don't want to know. Let's move on, shall we, to our gift that keeps on giving, the New York Post. What's going on?
Do you remember ex Surgeon General Jerome Adams? Right. So he said he can't get a job after leaving the Trump White House. So he was a Surgeon General for 4 years under Trump.
Yep.
And he said everything he applies to, or from university post to general teaching or general medicine post or whatever, he gets a knockback because they are just too afraid to take him in because of the way that people would react to having someone who was associated with Donald Trump in the position.
This is the woke mind virus once again.
Yeah, this is the woke mind virus, and it seems, and this is why I said Donald Trump should not run for president.
I agree.
Because everything he touches is now tainted. And it's not because he did and I don't think for 1 minute he did a bad job, and I think he was doing the right things generally, right? I mean,
right.
There were other things he was doing that I disagreed with, but generally he was doing the right things. The economy was on the up and everything was looking reasonable until the coup struck. But he was doing the right things, and the thing is, he has been so bastardized by the media and so badly reported and portrayed by the media that there's no redemption for him now. That's the problem.
No, and you're absolutely right. This guy's It's a shame.
It's a shame because he should have had a second term as president. He should have.
Well,
it's very, very rare that a sitting president does not get a second term.
Well, you can infer once again what you want from what happened there, but it's a shame that this guy is being punished for the dislike of another. It's guilt by association. It's wrong. It shouldn't be happening. And you know what? He's probably, struggling to find money to feed his family. Yeah. And for what? Because he worked under Donald Trump. Well, Come on.
Because he gave 4 years of his life to public service. Because that's effectively what he did.
He did. He might have been paid, and he might have been paid handsomely for it. But it's a choice he made. He clearly didn't do anything wrong in the job, or he wouldn't have been there for 4 years. And he seems to be a highly qualified, if he's a Surgeon General, medical professional, right?
Yeah, of course he is.
So what's going on? What's going on, America? Stop this nonsense. This is the woke mind virus. It's infected you all. You need to metaphorically wake up, because it needs to stop.
Do you remember that we talked about this? I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, and we need to be very careful about this.
Yeah, but this is how people are being affected after they've been treated. Right?
So this is the official response, isn't it, to the died suddenly documentary?
Yeah. If subjects are panicked, concerned, stressed, or scared of the treat, their arteries will constrict and become smaller in and around the time of receiving the treat. This biological mechanism, this constriction of veins, arteries, and vessels under mental stress is the most likely cause for where there has been blood clots, strokes, heart attacks, dizziness, fainting, blood vision, loss of smell, and taste that may have been experienced shortly after treat.
Now, I know what I think about this, and unfortunately, if I were to say what I think about this, you would probably be deplatformed, John. So
let's move on.
Let's move on, because I will say it's insulting. It's insulting.
Yes. So moving on.
Let's move on.
What's the next article?
Bill 36 in British Columbia, Canada.
Bullshit! Oh, who said that? Did you hear that? Anyway, so Bill 36 in Canada. So we're back to Canada. I should have reordered these slides better, but
it doesn't matter.
What is going on in Canada?
I don't know. Honestly,
all healthcare staff mandatory in BC.
I don't know.
All healthcare staff mandatory.
Is that
true? Mandatory. Yep. Bill 36.
Passed. Why?
Because they can.
But it doesn't.
You can't say anything. I'm just letting you know. Staying with the medical profession.
Yep. Hospital flu cases up 10 times on last year amid triple-demic. Warning $NHS England data shows. What the freak is a triple-demic, John?
Well, I don't know what the third one is.
I don't either.
Oh, is it Mpox?
Mpox. Oh yeah, they did rename it, didn't they? Mpox.
Mpox,
baby.
In case you offended a monkey. Which group of monkeys was it that objected to the term monkeypox?
Well, you know what? It seems like the fact that they've changed the name is racist in itself, right?
Yeah. I can't. How does a name become racist when it refers to a group of people that aren't a race?
You know what?
They're a species.
Natasha has just said in the chat exactly what I was about to say. I was going to say, I was going to put the sunglasses on, can't bother to do that, but hey man, I'm in Mpox. Do you want to come and see us? Yeah.
Bad boy band.
Yeah, Mpox, baby. I mean, all the cool kids come to see Mpox. Oh, Jesus.
Now, the next story is a story not just of what would you call it? Just crassness.
Yeah.
Not grounded in reality. Just guy being a fucking arsehole.
Yep, Harry Kane. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane, you're an arsehole. You know, that's not a dig at anything. Wearing a £500,000 watch.
That's just telling us
anything.
That's just telling us you're better.
Yeah, you're just so fucking good at playing football that you can afford to wear a £500,000 watch. That's all it tells us. It just tells us you're a dick and you have no humility. And I don't give a fuck if you're good at football or not. I hate you.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think that these idiots, they're not grounded in reality. We go back to what I said the other day, and what I said the other day is these people, these kids essentially, are given more money than sense that they have, and they believe their own hype. I mean, going out and spending £500,000 on a piece of shit timekeeper that you got to put on your arm, and yeah, I did just call Rolex a piece of shit because what is it? Oh, what's the time? Don't people just pick up their fucking phone now and go, oh, look, there's the exact time down to the second. What is this even for? And to spend £500,000 on a bit of jewellery just to own the Arabs? What's that all about? I mean,
wait. One, it makes no difference to them because they don't give a toss.
They don't.
Yeah, they really don't. And I mean, if he wasn't there playing football, he'd probably be dead by now.
Well, maybe.
Well,
maybe.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Is he one of the two?
Let's move on anyway to...
Is he? Is he one of the two? Who knows?
To a doctor who has been horribly abused on social media these last 2.5 years, who, for the most part, she hasn't got everything right. No, nobody does get everything right, but for the most part, she's been pretty correct compared to the mainstream narrative. Anyway, what are we seeing here, John? What's Dr. Claire Craig got for us?
Well, NHS beds occupied by patients without the cough has now reached a record high and exceeds the entire hospital capacity for January 2021.
Who could have seen this coming?
There are now more people in hospital than were in January 2021, and none of them have got the cough.
Oh, who could have seen this? Who could have predicted this from the word go?
Anyone with half a brain could have predicted it, mate. Anyone.
But remember, when we did tell people this was going to happen, we were called killers! Granny killers!
Where's my tinfoil hat? I really need my tinfoil hat.
I'm going to make one.
Yeah, I think we need to make one.
I think we need to make some tinfoil hats. Natasha says she said so. She works in the NHS, for God's sake. But the thing is, we said this, when you cancel cancer appointments, not just people's, chemo, but actual checks on people to see whether or not they've got cancer, this happens. When you don't treat people properly for strokes, heart attacks, blood disease, heart disease, things like that, this happens. When you don't effectively have a medical system at all, they might as well have called it the NCS rather than the NHS, because that's what they turned it into for nearly 2 straight years. You still can't barely see your bloody GP. You can't go and see them.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
They're hiding. GPs, come out, come on. We're starting to think you're trolls hiding under your bridge like John in Fortnite, just sitting under the bridge.
Come on out.
Come on, GPs.
Hey, I haven't hid under bridges very often recently, and I've been doing better. I even got a kill last night.
If you want to see us playing Fortnite tonight, you can do so on the second channel, 100 Acre Swamp. That is the number, 100 Acre Swamp. Go over there and subscribe now. We'll be streaming live at 9 p.m.
We're supposed to be the world's worst gamers, but
we're pretty
good.
good.
I lost track of the amount of times we won last night.
Yeah, we keep winning. We're pretty good. And the entire team will be there at 9 p.m. Won't you, Adam and Vaughan? I know you're both watching. I've seen you both in the chat. 9 p.m. UK time.
9 p.m. Right.
And the stream will be being run by our very own John.
Yeah, I'll be running the stream.
He will.
Can't confirm anything. Right, hold on. Sorry.
Let's move on to the University of Idaho and the tragic killings that have occurred there.
Yes, do you remember we covered this story?
Yes.
So this is the one where these people were all out partying and they all ended up dead in their respective houses. And the police weren't looking for anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just seems to have gone a bit strange because apparently they weren't in the one house where they were all killed. They were
Okay.
all killed in different houses.
It just says
after
the
party.
victims, all under 22, were killed at their off-campus home, singular, in the dead of night after partying at separate... No, they were partying at separate locations and they've been killed at one location.
But the police are now looking for the murderer, which they weren't before.
Yes,
So the whole thing seems... It's getting a bit Scream-like.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm hearing, but apparently they all live together. So this is what I'm getting from it. So they were killed in one location, but during the night they've been at separate locations partying. And you've really got. I mean, this does feel and seem completely personal, doesn't it?
It's a strange one because initially the initial report did tend to indicate that it was some kind of murder-suicide pact or something, you know, because police were happy that they weren't looking for anyone else. It was a tragedy, obviously. But now that the police are being called inept, the police are looking for someone else, you know, so things seem to have changed up. So we'll need to keep an eye on this one. And they're all young people that knew each other, but they were all partying at different parties. So I don't know what's happened. It's some sort of jealous rage thing, maybe.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
It's strange, but we shall need to keep an eye on it. And it is becoming a bit Scream-like.
It does seem like it was premeditated, for sure, right?
Yeah.
He's made sure they're all in the same place when it's occurred. They've been at different locations throughout the night. It seems premeditated. It seems personal, in my opinion. It seems like these people wronged him in some way, and he's gone. But I'm not saying that he is justified in his actions. He should not have done what he did. And I hope he is caught. I do, because obviously someone that can do that is... Or she, but hopefully that someone that can do that is very dangerous. Dangerous to not just themselves, but to others, and it's worrying. It is very, very worrying to me. Let's move on then, John, to something else we've been keeping an eye on, and we need to keep an eye on. What's going on over in China. And I will say this, our predictions are coming true. All of the people who said that the anti-lockdown protests in the West were wrong and that the people should be gulagged for them are now going, go on, China, we support you, go on, fight that tyranny. The mental gymnastics these people have to do to reach that point, when they should have been in the position that these people are now years ago.
It's astounding, isn't it? So you can't protest in China or you end up getting arrested.
No, so
in fact, you can't even report on protests and you might even get arrested.
If you're a BBC journalist, you might get punched, kicked, and then told, we're doing this for you. Oh, good. We're doing it. You might get COVID from crowd. We got to arrest you now.
The Chinese ambassador has been called in to account for the treatment of the BBC journalist.
Good.
And I again see people going, like we don't need any more trouble and things like that. Well, hold on a minute. That's not acceptable behaviour. You know, for people to be doing this. And in China, you don't give China an inch because they will take it and then some.
Well, like Natasha just said in the chat here, not going to happen. CCP will allow a bit of dissent and then they are going to go in heavy. And yes, they are.
They will. Yeah, they will.
I've seen tanks moving, by the way.
Hey, you know what's going to happen.
Tiananmen Square 2.0 is on its way.
So they're now walking about with empty sheets of paper because that's not protest. That's just an empty sheet of paper.
I mean, have you seen that the day after the BBC journalist yesterday, they were approaching people in public, grabbing these Chinese authorities, taking their phones off them, and if they had pictures of the protest on their phone, forcing them to delete them. This is so tightly controlled a regime. It must be such a hellscape for the people involved. I wouldn't survive there. I don't think you would survive there because they'd be going, you do this, you do that, and your social credits will go down. And I'd be going, no, I don't think I will.
Not going to do that.
I'm just not going to do it.
No.
Not
going to do it.
No, G. G, learn this word and start to learn it. And start to love it. No. Winnie the Pooh.
So,
Winnie the Pooh.
Speaking of mistakes.
Yeah.
Uh,
we've actually put it on.
Balenciaga have finally apologised for their inflammatory ad campaign that depicted kids alongside bondage-style attire.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I really don't understand what they were thinking. Why were they doing this?
Well, you say that, right? When you start to dig into one of their head designers, she does this all the time.
Yeah, I've seen her. And she's also a head designer for Adidas.
Yes, but she does this all the time. And things like this. And, the photographer himself came out on Instagram because he was basically crucified on Instagram, right?
Yeah, well, you see, if I'd been the photographer, I wouldn't know what that book was about.
Well, it's not.
Did you know what that book was about?
No.
No.
Right? But he simply said, I was called in by Balenciaga to light and shoot what they told me to shoot. I had no control over what was being depicted on camera. It was all them. They're blaming the publicists, and then the reality of the situation is this. In my view, my opinion, and I think I'm going to have to caveat that here, it was all Balenciaga and that designer, whatever her name is, because she does this stuff all of the time, and she makes it public. It's not exactly like it's a dirty little secret or something. She makes it public. So my personal opinion is, they're finished. They're absolutely finished.
Yeah.
But I believe Kanye may have been wearing Balenciaga boots on Timcast IRL yesterday. Or at least on the plane to IRL, because people have got shots of it. And he used to wear them, and it looks very familiar.
Again, I don't even have a clue who Balenciaga is.
It's a clothing brand, isn't it?
For some super rich people, yeah.
Yeah, and I think like Kim Kardashian, Kanye's ex, has like contracts with them, and many influencers do, and they wear their shitty looking clothes because those boots look like a pair of wellies. They're a pair of wellies with Balenciaga written on them, and I bet they cost hundreds for a pair of fucking rubber wellies.
Well, it's a pity we can't get to the States because we could be making money.
A Santa working the full season can earn between $7,000 and $15,000. Working on 6 or 7 days a week, an elf in New York City can earn $20 or more per hour. I could do Santa. I could, I'm pretty much chair-bound most of the time anyway, so I could just ho ho ho. What?
And what is the full season? 2 months?
Probably 6 weeks, I would imagine.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
15 grand for 6 weeks' work? Yeah, I'd do that.
And most Santas will try and put on the proper English accent as well. So, I'm saying, hello, what would you like for Christmas this year?
Yeah, that's true.
What would you like for Christmas this year?
Right, so second last slide. Okay.
I will make sure that the reindeers receive your carrot.
Here we go. Second last slide, right? Now,
whoo!
This comes to you. This comes to you courtesy of the New York Post.
Right? The gift that keeps on giving.
So the hottest firefighter. This is hottest firefighter in Germany, stroke Austria, right?
So she talks like this.
Yeah. So hottest firefighter vows, I will remain loyal to saving lives. Now that's not the part that got me, right? The part that got me was this girl's on fire. Not only does the 36-year-old battle raging infernos for her living, but she can also light up the dance floor with her ability to play...
Play what?
Guess what? Saxophone? Where did that come from? That's a classic teaser headline from the New York Post.
I like to play the saxophone. I like to give you...
She won an award for sexy saxophone playing.
I like to give you sax music on the dance floor. Yeah.
So there you go. So and from that to a very, very disappointing erection in Trafalgar Square.
Oh, they've done it again.
Yes, they have. They're just trolling us, aren't they?
Oh, my word.
What the hell is that? That's not a Christmas tree.
Yeah, but let's face it, the mayor of London does not celebrate Christmas traditionally, does he?
Oh, but normally he's like, what the hell? They're like, well, let's find the shittest tree we've got, cut it down and send it over to the English. I mean, that's just an abomination.
It's disgusting.
That's half a tree.
I would have received that and gone, I'm alright, thanks.
Went, fuck it, I'm going to buy my own.
Go and buy my own. Go and get my own. What the hell is this?
It's no use whatsoever.
Oh, Jesus Christ, why do you do this to me? I'm trying to fill everybody with Christmas fucking cheer. Wearing me hat, Christmas intros, Christmas outros, and you give me this for a tree. This. Fuck you, London. Fuck you. I'm not coming. I'm not coming to look at that. Actually, should I go to London at some point over the Christmas season and just laugh at it on camera?
Yeah, you should.
I think that's possibly on the cards. A video for the channel, me just sitting there in front of this tree going.
Yep. Oh.
And on that note, John, you look exceptionally tired. You also look exceptionally well kept today. You look lovely. You look wonderful.
Thank you. I'm not tired. I slept very well, actually.
You said, oh, you did. We had a good game last night till around about midnight, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be gaming again. If you're not subscribed over on the other channel, 100 Acre Swamp, you better be. 100, the number 100 Acre Swamp. If you've not left a like on this video, on this show, I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed. And if you're not subscribed, click that button. Once again, the most important thing you can do for us is click that share button. Just share it out, evangelize, tell everybody we're here. And if you want to go one further, you can become a patron at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent or on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. And you can do our personal sponsorships. John's through Ko-fi is being worked on as we speak. And my balls through paypal.me/wheeliebricks. And John, that is all the pleasantries out of the way. Over to you.
So I'd like to thank everyone, one and all, for coming to this episode 167 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben. And it's been good. In fact, it's been great. For you.
Christmas, all the Christmas trees on fire. Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars. I got gifts, but one subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh God, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What just happened? This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not.
Oh, thank you, Natasha. We really, really appreciate it.